Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we are going to discuss what master icons you should target and what ones you should avoid. Start of the game, I'm getting a lot of questions as to, between these two players, or should I save my icon collectibles for Gretzky and Lemieux? Should I spend them on the 85? We're going to get into all of that, and I'm going to give you scenarios based on if you're a free-to-play player, if you're going to rip packs, all that kind of stuff. So let's get into today's video. Before we do that, though, guys, please, if you're going to come and check out my content every day, drop me a subscribe. Really appreciate it. I'm approaching 15,000, and that's a pretty big milestone for me. So for everyone that has already subbed and watched me every day, thank you guys. It means a ton. Let's get into today's video. All right, guys, so first things first, let's go over the sets and whatnot for any players that might be brand new and not really know how it works. So if you go right here, there is an icon set that'll trade in 50 gold players, and you will receive one icon collectible. It'll be untradeable, so you can't put it on the market, so keep that in mind. And then along here, you're going to see the sets, and each one is going to give you a choice of 4. So you will get a choice of 485 overall icons, and you will get to select one of them, and again, you will get them on your team, and it will be untradeable. The one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that this year, it isn't just one upgrade to these cards. In NHL 20, they did the normal master icons that came out, and then around March and April, really late in the year, they released like the gold master icons. So 85 overall. Gartner went from 85 to like 94, I believe. They aren't going to do that this year because there's silver and gold. So we have to anticipate that there's going to be 2 upgrade seasons for these. So they're not going to be, useless at a certain point, because there should be, an upgrade to silver that comes out midway through the year that can allow you to use whatever 85 overall icon you use and so forth. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. There's also 2 other sets here that I think that you should avoid, at least for now. And that's the gold icon collectible gold collectible to icon collectible. So if you trade in 10 gold players and a gold collectible, you will get an icon collectible. I would avoid that because, again, if for anyone that's new, gold collectibles will be used for events. So the Lit versus Grit event is the first one that's going to come up next weekend at launch, and then the icon collectibles are what you use for these guys, and you can also go backwards. So the icon collectible to gold collectible. Again, you don't really have to worry about this set until you've gotten all the icon collectibles that you want. So let's get into the icon collectibles I think that you should target. And one last thing, when you do one of these sets, it's on a 7-day cooldown. So when you do one of these, don't just think that, oh, I saved up enough, I can do it right again. You've got to wait 7 days before you can do each one. So if you do the 85, you can't do another 85 until 7 days elapse. So just keep that in mind. All right, so let's get into what icons to target first. All right, guys, so let's start at the top, okay? The 89 Wayne Gretzky. Now, this is going to cost you 7 icon collectibles, okay? And just going by what the value for these collectibles are going to be, I got to warn you, it's going to be pricey. So they're valued around $50K. At launch, they're going to be around $50K, maybe a little bit more, because everyone is trying to get them. So keep that in mind, which means that this card is going to be worth about $350K. Now, you won't need to spend all of that. You sound like you're going to need 350,000 coins to make this card. That's just to buy extra ones. So when everyone opens up their loyalty packs, let's say that you've pre-ordered the game, you're going to get enough cards to come close. You need 350 gold cards to make enough to make one of these cards, and that should be your first priority, and you should come pretty close. Now, if you haven't, let's say you only opened a few packs, remember, don't go and buy these collectibles off the auction house, just straight up the collectibles. Sit there and make sure that you go through. I did this in my ways to get ahead video. Go to the auction house and look up the gold cards that are cheap and that are ending for around 700 or 800 coins, because that could save you 70,000 coins in total. So if you go to the auction house, look at the expiring gold ones, set the maximum at like 1,000, and you'll see all the cards that are under 1,000. So just keep that in mind. But these 2 cards should be the one that you should target. And one of my biggest questions is Wayne or Mario. What one should you choose? So let's look at Wayne first. Obviously, 6', 185. The way the meta is in NHL 21, it's all about speed on offense. You want fast wingers, really fast. However, Wayne and Mario, because of their face-off ratings, are probably going to play center for you. So that being said, let's look at what happens when you activate their synergies, because it is something that you should try and target. The team-based synergies are really hard to activate, so you might want to ignore them, but the player-based one, Light the Lamp, is a very good one that Wayne's got. It's not the best, but it is good. So he's got 90 skating across the board and a very good shot. That's the difference between Wayne and Mario, is that the speed. So Wayne's a little bit slower, but when you activate everything, his shot is damn near perfect, and his face-off rating is 90, which is really, really nice. That being said, I'd probably take Mario, and I'll explain why. So, when taking a look at Mario Lemieux, 6'4", 225, and again, skating is average, around 90, does have that 94 agility. However, he has the best player synergy in the game, and that's Howitzer. All 4 of the stats are super important. He gets +3 agility, speed, slapshot power, and wrist shot power. And if you get distributor, he's got 96 skating along with 97 agility to go with a 94 overall shot across the board. The one thing I will say, he's only got 85 faceoffs, but early on in the game, with base cards being the majority of what people will use, 85 faceoffs is actually really good. There's not very many cards that you're going to find that have over 90 faceoff. I use Mario Lemieux on center. I'm kind of, starting to think I really want to use him on wing, just I don't have a center that's better, or at least even comparable, so I'm using him on center. I just don't like right-handed centers in general, but Mario Lemieux would be the one I choose, and now everyone is going to bring up the fact that the meta this year isn't about big players, it's all about fast players on the wings, because you just straight line down the boards and look for that cross-ice pass, because people haven't learned to adapt to intercept the pass. Intercepting passes, AI really don't do it, and you have to really cover the backdoor and the man that you're that's looking to get the one-timer in NHL 21. I will have a video that will break down how to do that. But the one thing I will say, well, Mario is a little bit bigger, so he does seem to be a little bit slower than Wayne. When you activate the stats, he's not. And the fact that he's 6'4" means he's very, very useful in the defensive zone. That's where the big players, a lot of people are all about the small meta right now because they think about offense only. In the defensive zone, those small players are useless because they're not able to bump and get people off the puck in NHL 21. It's just like NHL 20 in the defensive zone. All right, you got to have big guys to bump players off the puck and get it back. And then on offense, obviously, you want to have those speedy wingers. But Mario is a combination of both, and he should be the first player that you choose in terms of icons. Now, I need to mention, if you are a free-to-play player and you are not going to come anywhere near 7 icons, 7 icon collectibles, then don't worry about this. But anyone that's going to get 3 or 4, just keep waiting, keep saving, keep using the team that you're using for one of these cards, and the reason is you're going to get one of the 2 best cards in the game for a significant period of time. These aren't going to become obsolete in 2 months. You're going to be able to use them for a long time, and then the silver and golds will come out as well. These are the cards you should target, save up for them, and get 1 or 2 of them. Okay, so let's say that you've done that, you've got your Lemieux, okay, now you're like, okay, what's next? All right, it is the 88 overall icon set, okay? It should be what you're saving up for once you've gotten one of Lemieux or Gretzky, and the reason being is you want Guy Lafleur. He is the best winger in the game, better than Wayne Gretzky or Lemieux if you put them on wing, and the reason being is when you activate synergies, he is a 96 speed, 95 agility, 92 acceleration winger with 99 wrist shot power and 97 accuracy. Let me put that in terms. He has a perfect shot at launch. He is unbelievable on offense. I pair him on my team with Connor McDavid. Obviously, my team is stacked, but it is the way the game is played right now. Until people learn how to adjust and actually defend straight line rushes along the boards, Guy Lafleur is an absolute must for anyone trying to make a very competitive team. He's unbelievable. Now, there is the problem with the 88 overall set is that, you get a choice of 4, but there's 5 88 overalls, meaning that there is an outside chance you don't get Guy Lafleur. The reason why I say do the 88 overall set is because if you don't get Lafleur, you've got an option at the 88 Jean Beliveau, 6'3", 205, good size, kind of like Mario Lemieux. And then when you activate synergies, again, he's got 87 speed, which is fine, but his acceleration is nice at 91, agility 88, and his shots in the high 80s. And with Thief, he's got 86 faceoffs, so you can put him at center if need be, and all of his hand stats are above 90. So while not nearly as good as Guy Lafleur, Jean Beliveau is a very, very good second. And then I've got to say this just because for the very, very rich, okay, this Patrick Waugh card, I have a feeling, will be the best goalie in the game for a considerable amount of time. With the changes to goaltender and the stat adjustments and the capping of the huge overalls on gigantic goaltenders, you are going to see a shift in meta. And I said this in a couple videos before. Patrick Waugh in NHL 20 at launch, I randomly got his 88 overall or his 90 overall card at launch. he was one of the best goaltenders I've ever used in HUT, and the reason for it is because the stats on goalies matter considerably. They determine how fast frame by frame they move, and because shooting attributes are nowhere near 88 overall early on in the game for, the entire lineup, he is going to play dynamite for you. So I haven't got a chance to use him, but I know just from past experience and how the changes to goaltender are, he is going to be extremely good. But that's, again, for the rich. He should be your third option, and if you get 388 overalls, my goodness. All right, so you've gotten Lemieux and Gretzky. Then you've got LAFLEUR or BELIVEAU. Here's what I need to say, the side point. If you get BELIVEAU, you need to do the 88 overall icon set a second time. I would do the 88 overall icon set again before I would try and get Gretzky or Lemieux, because, again, you really, really want Guy LAFLEUR. His card is just absolutely nuts, and it plays better on the wing than Wayne Gretzky, so keep that in mind. All right, so you've got your Lemieux and Gretzky. You've got your LAFLEUR. What's next? It's the 87 overall Paul Coffey. So just like in NHL 20, defenseman cards at launch really don't have a shot. And even more in NHL 21, I found point shots in general, unless they've set their feet and it's like they're in an animation ready to get in that wheelhouse, all shots from the point are super muffins. So I'm at a point now in NHL 21 where I don't even take point shots regardless, and I have Chris Pronger on the point, so keep that in mind. But the 87 overall set to try and get Paul Coffey is the one you want to chase, and again, the reason being is fast defensemen are super valuable because you have to try and defend everyone who's now switching over to those small, speedy wingers that just rip down the boards. And Paul Coffey's got 90 overall speed with distributor, but even without it, he's still at 87, and he's got good skating with a 90 overall shot, one of the best shots in the game on the back end, if not the best. In terms of accuracy and power. He's got 91 defensive awareness, which is key because that impacts and determines your ability to intercept the puck, and even though it's so hard to intercept passes, the higher the defensive awareness, the better chance you have at doing it. So the 87 Paul Coffey is the next card you should chase. All right, so you've got your Lemieux or Gretzky if you went the other way. You've got your LAFLEUR. You've got your Coffey. What's next? 85 overall one is what you should go after because there is a bunch of good options. And while these 85 overall cards, a lot of the base cards are better than them, there's a few gems in there. So we're going to take a look at them. And this applies to the players as well that are free to play. So if and you're realistic with yourself that you're not going to be able to get 7 icon collectibles to make Lemieux and Gretzky. If you can't, and it's going to take you a really long time to even get like 2 or 3. Say you buy the game, but you didn't pre-order, you have no loyalty packs, you're starting brand new, so you have your starter team, and that's it. It's going to take you a really long time to build up enough gold players to turn into icon collectibles. So let's say you work towards 1 because that should be your goal. You want to do the 85 overall icon set because it will allow you to get at least 1 card that will be good for your team. The 85 overall Mike Gartner is the best 85 card. Yet again, he's just one of the best winger cards in the game, especially with the speed meta for wingers. 93 skating right off the rip. 88 agility with a synergy, 90 acceleration, and then a great wrist shot. Wrist shot is what you want to look for. 87 accuracy, 90 power. Again, just an all-around great card, and for 85 overall, it's fantastic. Now, the only downfall is that doing the 85 overall set, there's a good chance you don't get Mike Gartner because there's so many options. So I'm going to go through a couple of other options that you want to choose. So my next option after Mike Gartner would be Mike Modano. Again, 88 skating all across the board. He is listed as a center, but he is going to be a winger for you. So again, that's what you want, fast wingers along. And then with synergies, that shot improves quite a bit, all the way up to 92 for slap shot accuracy. But he's got a good shot right off the rip for an 85 overall. Good speed. And again, hand stats not bad. Offensive awareness at 90, which is nice. He would be my second choice. So again, I'm going to go through all these options here. You want to choose one of these, and if you don't get any of them, that's super tough, but again, I'm going to try and give you enough where you should get at least 1 out of the 4 choices that you get. Next would be the 85 Adam Oates. So I have this card, and the reason why it's my third choice for the 85 overalls is it does have Speedster, which is a great synergy, so he gets up to 88 overall, and he's got a 90 shot, basically. It's that 92 face-offs. Again, early on in the game, face-off rating really matters. If you can get someone who's above 85, you're going to have a significant advantage over a lot of people. A lot of people are going to have base card teams, and the base cards, a lot of them have no face-off rating. So keep that in mind, but he would be my third choice from the 85 overall collection. Number 4 would be the 85 overall YVAN Cournoyer. He is basically the mini Guy Lafleur, and again, with that great skating stat, 93 speed, 92 acceleration. Again, he's just made to rip down the wing. He's got a great wrist shot at 88 overall, 90 power. Again, in the defensive zone, he's going to be pretty useless. He's not going to be able to get the puck back, but this is a great offensive card if you aren't able to get any of the other 3 guys at 85. Following him would be the 85 overall Joe NIEUWENDYK, 6'2", 205, so a nice big body, going to play well in the defensive zone. 91 faceoffs, again, the main reason, but also has a really good shot. 89 accuracy and 88 power for the wrist shot, with a 91 power for the slap shot if you can get Gladiator activated. The reason, again, he also has good defensive awareness, and again, the center is going to be the guy in the middle of the slot who's trying to take away that pass in the middle, which is what everyone's trying to force through right now. So he would be my next option out after Gartner, Modano, OATES, and Cournoyer. And then finally, it would be the 85 overall Luc Robitaille. Again, great skating stats for the wing and a good wrist shot. Slap shot's not bad, again, with the passing playmaker activated as well. Again, just a speedy winger. Not much else you can say after that. He's just a really good option. I would rather have the other ones over him because he's got kind of a low defensive awareness, and that wrist shot power and is only 86, but still a very, very good card. Only 78 body checking as well, but he does have a 6'1" frame, so he's okay in the defensive zone. So again, there's a lot of 85 overall cards, and the reason why I want to show you a bunch of those, if you don't get any of them, pick the one that's going to best suit your lineup. Okay, don't just pick what you think. Don't pick a goaltender. You want to avoid that. So just taking a look quickly at my team right here. So I've got Guy Lafleur and LEMIEUX, and they're both been fantastic here for me. I've also got the Jari Kurri as well, and the Chris Pronger. The one thing I want to bring up here, I want to start talking about some of the random ones in terms of icons. Chris Pronger is fantastic in his own zone at 6'6", 220. He just gets the puck back. The problem is that he's very, very slow, and I have to pair him with someone really fast in the Carlson because he just gets burned by on the wing. And his shot, I can't take advantage of it. I don't know what it is in 21, but point shots right now are just muffins no matter what. The only way I can really take advantage of Chris Pronger's shot is if I walk in from the point and just rip an absolute missile, which has happened a few times. I'm able to pick a corner with his slap shot, but it's just not something that's very common in the offensive zone, walking in with Chris Pronger. But so I would avoid him if I could. There's other 87 overall defensemen I'd much rather have. Obviously, the Paul Coffey is the best one, but Ray Bourque would be another option. I didn't really talk a lot about the 86 overalls because there isn't really a ton, and I think that you should just kind of skip it. But if you are able to, get all of them, if say you're hut rich or whatever, the 86 overall Chris Chelios is a great option. Again, right defense is always going to be rare. There just isn't a lot of good right defensemen in the game, and he does have the howitzer synergy, which is fantastic. So it gives his skating a big boost if you get howitzer activated, which should be your main goal early on in the game because it gives you a significant advantage on all your cards with it. Good players also seem to have it, which is good. It's not just the crap players that get it. It seems to be a lot of the good players that do have it. So you combine that with the fact that slap shot is nice and defensive awareness is almost 99. This is a really, really good right-handed defenseman card. But again, there's just other options on offense. In terms of building a team, the thing you want to remember is first 2 forward lines you want to build, then your first pairing defense, then your third line on offense, then your second pairing defense, then your third pairing defense, and then your fourth line. In that order, that's what you want to prioritize. That's why I didn't want to bring up Chris Chelios, because the other cards are just so much more important for you. Other really popular picks are the 87 Peter Forsberg for obvious reasons. He's, just one of the most popular players ever, and he's a great card. He's got good speed, he's got a decent shot for an 87, and he's got good faceoffs at 86. This is a well-rounded card, but again, obviously you want to choose the Paul Coffey if you can get him. If you do have the option to choose Peter Forsberg, and without the Paul Coffey, and you get the 87 overall set, he's a very, very good option. His partner, Joe Sakic, 87 overall, I would rather have, just because, he's got a bit more balanced stats, and that wrist shot is great at 94 and 92 with 86 on the draw, which is the same as Forsberg, but I just like Joe Sakic's stats a little bit more, again, with that acceleration at 90, just a bit more improving. So I would choose Joe Sakic over Forsberg because I know that's a really, really popular question I get a lot. So guys, obviously I didn't cover every single master icon. There's a lot of good ones, but I just wanted to give you guys a video that kind of focused and helped you have a target so that you don't just go in and you're starting to guess when you're spending and investing a lot of coins to make these players, and especially for new guys that don't really know who to choose and what the meta is and things like that. Speed on the wings is insanely important, and when you get a hold of the game, maybe you haven't played it yet, you didn't have EA access, it is nuts, okay? And for a good thing, I've seen a lot of controversy on Twitter about, forcing passes through and there's no passing intercepted if you're there in the lane. You really have to play amazing manual defense. I really like how the game is played, so I hope things don't change. There's going to be a lot of adjustments that are going to need to be made by players who just can't turn around with their defenseman and immediately catch up to the winger. You get burned, so that's why prioritizing speed on the wing is so important. So I hope, guys, that all of this helps you. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and if you want to catch me live, you want to see my God Squad team at 10 a.m. every morning on Twitch live, link down below. Just go give me a follow if I'm not streaming right now, but that way you'll be able to catch me live. I stream until about 3 or 4 p.m. Every day, so let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time.